Walk, keep on walking straight, straight to the hell we made. Why always a wall, babe, when we wanna come closer? Don't tell a million lies, kill the butterflies. I just wanna make things right. Walk, keep us on the road. Try to find what we had before. Get the spark, ignite, or is it gone? Won't you stop? Don't you shut us down. Speak before we hit the ground. Tell me now what's on your mind. I hear voices telling me you need to let him go. That's not. Don't you shut us down. Speak before we hit the ground. Tell me now what's on your mind. I hear voices telling me you need to let him go. There's nothing there worth fighting for. I just need to know if one thing is true. Do you still love me like you used to do? What if they alright? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Are we still alive? Yeah. What if they alright? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Are we still alive? Yeah. Walk, turn around and walk away is the easiest way, they say. But I don't wanna give us up. Cause to me, it would be the hardest thing to lose out on every single dream. And I don't plan on giving us up. I hear voices telling me you need to let him go. There's nothing there worth fighting for. I just need to know if one thing is true. Do you still love me like you used to do? What if they alright? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Are we still in love? Hey, what if they alright? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Are we still in love? Hey, what if they alright? Still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Are we still in love? What if they alright? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Are we still in love?
The Thinking Class. We bring together forward thinking, spiritually conscious individuals to learn, share, grow, and reframe our mindsets. We push to reach our maximum potential on all levels so that we can unlock new spiritual and practical paths to strengthen the relationships that matter most and usher in a new era of intellectual and behavioral mastery. Thank you for joining the Thinking Class. LDA's Personal AI. Mr. Davis here to serve you. Keep it spiritual, keep it player.
Salute everyone. If you can hear me loud and clear, shout out to everyone that's in the channel. Shout out to you, Will. Shout out to Albert Kingdom. Shout out to everyone. This is the Thinking Class with Lawrence D. Adams. Man, if you only knew what I was doing behind the scenes, my God, technical difficulties were taking place. LEA, are we on technical difficulties today, man? Somebody even messaged me. Technical difficulties, but we are live today. Good to see everyone. Good to be here today. We're talking about what? Transforming your game with your life with the right story. As you have, what's going on, Kenosha? Alpha Kingdom, Red, what's going on? Louisiana, Red, Alpha Kingdom, Kenosha. Good to everybody. Good to see everybody. Man, I couldn't even get the lights were messing up. What's going on? Happy Friday, everyone. Man, we're going to be talking about some things today. Let's get it going. I am excited. Been thinking about it all week. Forgive me and those in behind the community. I have been posting like I should and things like that. We're going to have some private time together for the private community that we do have set up. Matter of fact, let me do something right now while we're talking. Wrong place. What I want to do? We want to go here. Yep. So, but definitely, you want to definitely be a part of the Thinking class when we do what we do. So, here we go. Here we go. 1 second, right quick. Man, people don't understand what happens behind the scenes of doing a live show. Shoot. Dude, it can't text me right now. Oh my God. So here we go. Where am I at? What a day. Man, people didn't drop right quick. But today we're talking about the game. We're talking about transforming your life, transforming the game with the right story. This is the thing right here. You know, we talk about game over here. Game is just strategy. Getting from one point to the next point. Simply, what's going on? With my trip to good, congratulations. It's getting your game is getting from strategy from one point to the next point. It is not all. It is a tool that we use. But let me say something to transform your life. That's going to help you. Yes, I do have some slides today. We're going to go right into it, but I want you to really get this today. I really want you to get this today. So to transform, that means change states. One of the things that people mess up, especially in the game, when they talk about game, and I can talk about it because I've been talking about it for years, and I don't only talk about it, I live it, is this. One thing that's very important, you can have all the game in the world and still fail. Let me say that again. You can have all the game in the world and still fail. Why would you still fail? You might be able to execute some things and they may work for a minute. But if you don't have these preliminary pieces in place, let me say that again. Preliminary pieces in place, no matter how much game I give you, no matter how much game anyone else gives you, if these preliminary pieces are not in place inside of you, what's going to happen is you're going to mess up the game of your life and those around you. Many times when people search for game online and look for information, they're trying to look for a quick fix to solve something or to get something that they want. Let me say that again. Many times when your word game is in there, it's triggering you to get something that you want, or you're trying to get this young lady, trying to get this young man, you're trying to get this job, trying to move in a certain direction. But that's just a tool that they're going to give you. As we said in the past, you can have the tool, but it doesn't mean you know how to use it, or you can learn how to use it, but still the failure rate that you may have by using that tool, which is the game, can go straight to the gutter if you do not have some preliminary things in place. Last week, we talked about self-concept, how you see yourself. Like I said, I don't care if you're on your purpose. I know I even said this on here. Well, you just got to be on your purpose. No, it takes more than just being on your purpose. Because you can use that I'm on my purpose as a crutch to never deal with the underlying currency of things in your life. The thing done messed up. Hold on, let me turn this camera off. underlying thing that can actually move you into the right direction. So you got it. So most people, they look for the game to solve a particular problem. Let me say that again. They look for the game to solve a particular problem. There we go. To solve a particular problem. So what you do is, oh, let me get this. Let me hear this. Let me see if I hear this strategy on how to do something. If I understand how women are, if I understand how men are, I can have a better relationship. You looking for external, please get this. You're looking for external ways to solve situations that only get you temporary results. That's why you come back and you become addicted to external solutions and not internal solutions. That's what I want to take this to another level for us with this game. See, most guys and most women want to hear, well, show me how I get the man. Well, show me how I get more money. Show me what I need to do so I can maneuver in this way. You want all that information, but you haven't changed, which is today's subject. You have not changed your story. What is your story? Let me say that again. What is your story? What is your story? What story are you really telling out there? What story is really going on inside of you? What story are you really telling to those around you? What's your story? Most people have a story, and I know what I'm talking about. Most people have a story. A story. What's your story? See, your story, and I'm going to switch this to this so you can see it. What's your transform your life in the game? Let me get to the next. This is the most important right here. Boom. Identify your current story. Take a few moments and reflect on the story you've been telling yourself on a daily basis and how it shaped your life. See, this is the thing. And I'm going to break it down because I want you to get it. I really want you to get it. I really want you to take this banner off. Banner off. See, I really want you to get it. I don't want you to be lost in the sauce. See, you can get the game, but your story about yourself is that of failure. The story you may have is, well, you know, I last time I got into a relationship, it didn't go well. The last time I went to the gym, it didn't go. I stopped and I started. What is the internal story that you got going on inside of you? See, if you don't identify the current story that is going on inside of you, there's no amount of game. What's going on? Look to my right, Brazil is strong today. Yeah, but there's no amount of story that you have. There's no amount of game. You can listen to everyone from Tony Robbins to everyone, Les Brown and everybody else. But if you do not change your internal story, what you're going to do is get the game and use it the wrong way. And what happens is you have minimal success. Most people are giving you surface information and they're not telling you change your story. You must identify what story are you telling about yourself? What story do you believe about your money? What story do you have about your success? What story do you have about your failures? What stories do you really have about you? Many times the stories that you telling yourself about yourself is, once, like I said today in the clip I put up there, is robbing you. See, most people don't want to do the internal work to have excellent game. Let me say this, because I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. The game is what it is. But if you don't get yourself together, your internal side of the game, and see, this is the thing. Most people want the external side of the game, but they don't want to deal with the internal side of who they are. You jacked up from the floor up. Your wheels are coming off. Why? Because you never dealt with who you are. Why would you give a baby? What's going on, bro? Why would you give a baby car keys to a Maserati? The baby doesn't have the capacity or the identity to even know where to put the key at, where to put his foot on the brake and on the gas, and even know how to deal with speed. Because because I want you to get this, his concept of who he is not capable of handling the level of game that he has. See, the problem is not the game. The game is what it is true to what it is. Much respect to you. Much respect to you, Wayne. Good to see you, brother. The game is what it is, plain and simple. But if you never change who you are, and what happens is, this is what I want to say. I had to think about it, I had to wait for it to come back around. What has happened what's going on, Trav? What has happened is this. People have y'all gonna make me say it. I didn't want to say it here. People have idolized the game and I said it before, and not put themselves on the pedestal. What I'm saying is you got so emphasis on the game. I got to learn this. I got to learn this tactic. I got to learn how to get this woman, how to do this and how to do that. But you have not changed who you are. You still believe you the guy from 6th grade that used to get beat up. You believe you the young lady that people used to tease, because you never dealt with your internal story. Once you unravel your internal story, you can execute the game to another glory. Let me say that again. You have to unravel the story that you keep telling yourself when you were in 6th grade. I talk about me because I ain't going to say, I talk about me. When I had the glasses on and I had the big wide collars, and people used to tease me. They used to tease my lips. They used to tease my ears. And look at you. Oh my God. Look at you, Lawrence. Look at you. If that internal story has not been stopped, I'll take that into every relationship. I'll take that into every business meeting. I'll take that into everything I do, no matter how much game I know. Y'all better get this. No matter how much game you know and you hear people talk about and you even exercise the game, if I do not change my internal story about who I am, appreciate that. Keenan for the cash out. Tapping into the wild class. Paying dues. Appreciate that. Woo. What about getting out your comfort zone? Okay, thank you. Why is getting out your comfort zone so uncomfortable though? Because you have a story. I'm glad you asked. Why is getting out of your comfort zone so uncomfortable? Because you have a story or a belief that getting out of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. You have been told by everybody. Somebody wrote an Instagram post, get it out of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. So you took on that story. And so what happens is, since you took on that story, you now believe that. And because you believe that, you start to fulfill that part of the story. You become the character to the story that you just believed. No matter how much game I give you or someone else tell you, you're going to always be getting out my comfort zone is uncomfortable. Who told you that? In the words of Malcolm X, who bamboozled you? Who has tricked you to believe that it's uncomfortable, that is hard to get out of your comfort zone? Who told you that? Why do you believe that? Well, it is LDA. Everybody says it, and it happened to me. Who told you that? It is the story that you are telling yourself. When my man, Alfie Kingdom, start writing his books, we had a challenge behind the scenes. Who was going to write so many books by a certain time? What he did, he began to write books like it was out of style. He started to have a different story about who he was. Let me say that again. He had a different story about who he was, and the comfort zone that he was in of not being a writer changed to him seeing himself as an author, and he begins to write tons of stories or tons of books. You have to change the story that you have around you. See, once he changed the story about who he was, Alfie Kingdom, guess what happened? He changed the narrative of what he can do and what he cannot do. The books called him to themselves. The books called him to something deeper. Why? Because he changed the story about who he was. Let me say this. Y'all better put this in the chat room. Some game is not going to activate. Well, I can't be, that's too long. I'll shorten it. Some game is not going to activate until you change your story. Some of the game that you hear and everything that that sounds fly, that sounds cool, will not change until you change the story about you. You have to change the story about who you are. Who's lied to you? Who's bamboozled you? Who's tricked you to believe something about you that ain't true? Some things will not activate until you change the story about yourself. Then the game that you've been hearing all this time will be like, oh, it will just be like, Eureka, I get it. I understand it now. I see why they said that. Why? Because you have a different concept of who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, bruh. Thank you so much. Some game is not going to activate until you change the story. Change your story. Not your mama's story, not your cousin's story, not your mama's story, not all of them story, until you change your story about you. What's robbing you is your story about yourself. Who told you because the color of your skin you couldn't do something? Who told you because you live in a certain country you couldn't do something? Who told you because you grew on the wrong side of the tracks that you couldn't be a millionaire? Who told you because you flunked out of high school that you couldn't own a business? What story are you believing? They told me a story when I was in, they told me a story. We say story, many times we interchange that with a lie. Because we wasn't allowed to say a lie when I was that's a lie when I was a kid. You telling a story. But what story are they telling? What you telling yourself about you? That's a good explanation. I'm starting to understand that beliefs that's holding ourselves back. Right. Your belief about you. What story? This all my dating and people want to get into relationship and find their boo thing and all that. What story do you have about men? What story do you have about women? Some of y'all been believing the stories of other people about relationships and about women, about men, and it's robbing you no matter how much game you hear. Some people, I might as well do it. I'm LDA, I might as well do it. You can say what you want. Some of you have stories about the women here in the United States versus the women in other countries. What stories do you have about yourself? What stories? See, the stories or the beliefs is what's holding you in place. Until you change your story or your perception about yourself, no amount of game, no amount of 3 steps, 5 steps, 6 steps is going to work for you. I'm trying to help people. Let me get something else too. Your focus shouldn't be on the game anyway. Wait a minute. The focus shouldn't be on the game anyway. The focus should be on you. I done told you earlier this week, earlier this month, put yourself back on the pedestal. But I'm trying to get you to see that you are the dominant. You are the only one who has the right to determine what happens in your story. I'm going to tell you what I'm trying to do. LDA is trying to really do. I'm trying to get you to get your power back. I'm trying to get you to realize that you are the creator. In Genesis, God said, let there be light. Hint, hint. In your Genesis, what are you going to determine to let there be light? And what are you going to determine that's going to be dark? I'm trying to give you a hint of your power of who you are. Hint, hint. Who are you realizing that the real game is to realize what's your real name, who you really are? All I'm doing is saying, get your power back. Get me off my notes now. Geez Louise. The game is about you. Thank you, bro. The game is about you. You are the author. But you have to see that you are the author. You have to see, you got to see yourself as the winner. I'm going to tell you something. Let me give you some stuff I used to do. When I used to go out when I was in Atlanta with my cousins and all like that, before I go out, I'm going to share this. I can share this. Before I went out, I would look in the mirror and say, man, I look good. I look fine. I know I'm I didn't have a beard, didn't have a little, I ain't have a beard all like that. I had a little Rick Ross darkness in there. I ain't have this gray. I was tell myself I look good. I was saying, let me catch what I'm about to tell you what I did. I said to myself, I look good. I know I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I know I'm fine. I like the way I walk, the way I talk. I was not doing that to get girls or to get numbers. I was not doing that to get girls or to get numbers. I told myself in the mirror, I love you. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. I love the way you move. I love who you are. I love, you just, man, you smell good. You look good. I told myself that. Not to get the girls. See, that's the wrong goal. Not to get the numbers. No. The goal was to remind myself who I was, because I understood on a small scale that I'm constantly reflecting who I am to this world. Or as God would say, your environment is always prophesying to you. That means if I thought that about myself, baby, wait till them girls see me. And guarantee I had results. Why? Because I changed how my story about myself and my self-concept about who I was. They only were gonna say, "Ooh, it's something about you. Girl, he do smell good. He do look good." I don't know what it is. Why? Because I seen myself differently. Therefore, my story about me changed, and they only reflected who I said I was. If you got that, please put a number 2 in the chat room. Put a number 2 in the chat room. You got what I'm saying right there. You got what I said with that example. The goal is not to change the world around you. The goal is to change you around you. Change how you see yourself, and the world will reflect who you are. Please understand what I'm saying. Y'all, everybody I want a new car. I want a new car. I want this and that. You have not seen yourself as the person who have the cars. Okay, good. Y'all getting it right. Okay. We must empower and encourage ourselves, fellas, to the point that we see ourselves as the prize on a daily basis, because we are the head and at the tail. Great topic, bro. Appreciate that. Right. You have to see yourself. See, this is the problem. This is why the game jacked up, because you made it about the women. You made it about the women. You made it about for the women. You made it about the men. You made it about the money. You made it about the car. You made it about, if I can just get this new job, if I can just get that shorty over there, she thick, she got that, she like, oh yeah. You made it about everything else instead of about you. I told you what I did. I done gave you an example. When you make it about you, you realize that you're going to reflect to the world who you are. And people can pick up on it. Trust me, men can tell when a woman has issues, as well as women can tell that this guy is a simp. He can have all the game from the Himalayas, and then he can say the right lines. He can say, hey, how are you? I think you look good. I think you're the best thing since I've seen you. She can smell like, I'm gonna get him. I got him. Taking him to the bank. She washing his accounts out. Why? Even though he has the game, his concept of who he is has not changed. This is the missing key of the game. This is the story that you're telling yourself. The story you have around money. The story you have around sex. The story you have around, you have around what? Relationships. has to change. You have to change who you are. You have to see yourself as the one. When my sons were younger, and I said this before, what I would do is we would walk through the mall. I said, boys, I want you to walk through this mall like you own the mall. They looked at me like, I said, and it ain't about the money. I need you to walk through this mall like you own it. So what we do is we'll walk through the mall from one end to the next like we own it. Now, in the 3D realm, we ain't own Jack Skippity, but in the faith realm, we own every store, every vendor, every piece of clothes. We own everything. Why? Because we seen ourselves that way. The problem is you don't see the reason why you can't get the girl because you never seen yourself with the girl. The reason why you can't get the job, you never seen yourself as the person who has the job. What's going on, Joe Blast? Good to see you, bro. The reason why, since you said, I'm glad you came because you triggered something I want to see. Until you see yourself, this is not particularly to Joe Blast, but this is to get you, just to get to the point. Until you change the story, even around manhood, you're going to have the same story that you had before. Let me get to the next thing I wanted to share. Where's my notes? Got it. So we said identify your current. Let me get to the screen. Are we on the screen? No, we're not. Said identify your current story. Take a few minutes to reflect on the story by you tell yourself on a daily basis. Let's go to the next one. Uncover core values. Spend a few minutes identify the values and beliefs that you hold most. Some of us are holding beliefs and things that don't even matter. Uncover your core values. Spend minutes, identify the values and beliefs that you are most important. Some of y'all are having beliefs about, I'm gonna say this. I gotta say this. Some of y'all have beliefs about women that are just jacked up. Shout out, what's going on, man? Good to see you, Chief Travis. Some of y'all have beliefs about women that are just jacked up, flawed, and I wish I can cuss because I would cuss, because it is. Some of y'all have beliefs of women have beliefs about men that are just jacked up. I promise you. This is because you tell yourself the story. Oh, these women are like this. These women are like that. You keep telling yourself that story, and what keep happening? You keep attracting those women who fit into your story. What's up, Ted? Good to see you, bro. Let me say that again. Some of you have jacked up stories about women here in the States. Out of the States. I heard somebody, I was talking to one of my buddies, I ain't gonna say his name. He says some of the Western mindset is now getting over into other countries. Hint, hint. So the issue is, are you focusing on that? Or are you focusing on your story about you? Some have some jacked up stories about women. Some of y'all believe that every woman that you encounter, I ain't talking about Joe Blow over here. I ain't talking about Harry over there. I'm about the story that you have that they're gonna come and get you. They're gonna take your money. If I get with her, if I get married with her, the marriage gonna go down. Why? Because you have told yourself the story so much about, particularly, I'm gonna say it, black women, Chinese women, all these women. You got this whole story, this whole script that you just plop right in, and you become the actor in that story, and not realizing that you can change your story, which would change your game. You have to change the story that you have about yourself and about everyone around you. You are holding yourself back. You could be walking right next to the person who can take you to the next level, but your story about a particular race or a particular sex can be stopping you. Man, y'all don't want this game. Y'all want that. Show me, give me some numbers, try to get numbers. And what do I say when I get it? I'm giving you the game that's going to, and you need internally that would affect you externally. You better get this. You realize some of y'all got jacked up stories and beliefs. And so what happens is you end up attracting what you believe. Let me say it a different way. You attract not what you want, you attract who you are. And some of y'all, I'm gonna be just real 100%. I would, if it was in talking to the ladies, I would not. Would you? And people make fun of this statement. Oh, that sounds so cliche, LDA. Why would you say that? Would you really date you? Some of y'all ain't worth dating with. Ain't worth being in the room with for 18 seconds because you know you jacked up because you have not dealt with you. You tore it from the floor up. Wig is crooked. You know you need to deal with you. Let me give an interesting story. Back in the day, there was this guy. He was heavy set. And for some reason, I remember back in school, I'm not going to say his name because some people may know who I'm talking about. He did not care about his weight while every other guy was in the gym room. He didn't care about his weight. He ate what he wanted. He had a nice little ride. He had a nice little whip back in the day. But you know what the interesting thing is? He thought the best about him and he had women. I said, why are you talking to blank to blank to blank? Oh, he's just so cute. I don't know why. I just love his little stomach. Here we in the weight room. I'm trying to do some push-ups and things like that. His goal wasn't the women. The goal was what he believed about himself, who he was. Y'all missed the game by chasing the wrong thing. He believed what he believed about himself. Like, man, I'm the best thing. Matter of fact, about last year, I ran into him. Still cool. What's up? Slim down a little bit. Yo, man. Yeah, man. You know her? Man, yeah. Her? I bet. What about so-and-so? Oh, man. Back in the day, you had no clue. Why? Because his self-concept about himself did not care about his weight or his looks, hint, hint, or his jawline, but it cared about what he thought about himself. Let me put something there. This does not mean you do not work on your body. It does not mean that you do not work on making sure that you groom. It does not mean that you do not work on making sure you look the best version of yourself. Because I don't want no guys like, man, I'm just gonna look like a bum then, man. I'm gonna get all these girls. No. Full package. Package must be to be a package, you got to have something in there. If Amazon came and delivered a package and you order something on Amazon, they deliver it to you, and you went in there, ain't nothing in there, you're gonna be sad. And some of y'all are just a good package on the outside and got nothing in there. I want to return to sender. I want to return to what? To sender. Why? Because you have nothing in you. Back to the story. You have to change the story that you have about yourself. What story are you telling yourself around money? What story are you telling yourself about what you can buy and what you can buy? What story are you telling yourself about your weight? What story are you telling yourself about who you can date or what you get? Well, I was married before. I ain't gonna do marriage again. What story are you have around marriage? Well, marriages in the United States fail 100% times, and I ain't gonna you give me all the stats. But what story do you have? What story do you have around marriage? What story do you have around the clothes that you wear? See, there is a story that's going on. And as my brother last week, he caught the revelation of it. You have to flip it. You know what? You got to say, no, that ain't my story. So I'm gonna give you another example. In the Bible, this book called the Bible, there is a man that was blind. He couldn't see. He down there wants some change. Yo, man, can you, hey man, can you spare $1? Yo, man, I just want to go in the store and go get something. So Jesus walked by, and I think this, and I'm adding my spin to it, and test the guy, and the guy, he can see. Wait a minute, I can see a little bit something. Wait a minute, I can open my eye a little bit, I can see something. But he's seen men as trees. Catch what I'm saying to you. He's seen the men as trees. That means his perception of others was still of that of a blind person. Because he was going by his senses of hearing, or what he perceived how men were thinking or how men were. So he's seen them as what? Trees. He said, bruh. Nah, boom, let me touch you again. And his eyesight got adjusted. Some of you need to adjust your eyesight because you keep seeing the world around you as trees. Let me say that again. You keep seeing the world around you as what? Trees. Because you keep giving the story. You keep giving the same old tired, ragged story of and this and that and this and that, and you keep giving the same song. Because you keep seeing the world as trees and not as it should be. You need to change the story that you have around yourself. I'm gonna say it again. My brother put it in here. Let me say it. I'm gonna put it what he said because Wayne got it. He said it earlier, but he posted what I put in there. Let me put it what he said because I want you to get it. Some games not going to activate until you change your story. Plain and simple. Some of the game is not going to activate until you change your what? Story. You need to change your story. You need to change the story, not about the world, but about you. Let me emphasize this. If I can drill this and get this stuck on the side of your head like a racer, I want you to get this. You don't get what you want, you get who you are. I want that girl, man. She's so fine. I want my ex back. No, you get who you are. This is true. Change your, thank you, HUD. Change your story. Some of y'all have stories that you need to change. You let me give it like this. Some of y'all living in the as the world turns, you're young and restless. General Hospital, you have the same story. Drama. I keep attracting these women with drama. Because you keep having the same story and you don't realize that you're the actor. Well, you don't understand, LDA. I'm from this side of town. You don't know what I went through. You don't know what I went. You have the same story. Same story. You keep repeating the same story. You on repeat and don't even know it. Tape is broken. Keep going around. You know how the VCR tape just gets stuck and they keep playing the same scene? You're stuck in the same scene in your life because you have not changed your story. Therefore, the game will not work for you, but to a degree, because you have not changed how you see yourself. And the moment you change how you see yourself, not change the world will open up to you. The world will say, hey, I've been waiting on you. See, we've been focusing on get the girl, get the money, get the job, get the this, get the that. She's cute. Say these lines, do this. You've been like a dancing monkey. Some of y'all like a dancing monkey on these social media streets. In the DM. Out the DM. What do I need to say in the DM? What do I need to text? How do I need to say this? You like a dancing monkey and you have not changed who you are. Because change their story, you have to change them. You have to change that mentally. You're right. People need to get the mental health or something before change their story. Well, you change your story by changing how you see yourself. Some of y'all see yourself as a lonely worm. Somebody, I'm just nobody. I can't get nobody. And I need to change this. I need to change that. You need to change how you see yourself. Let me go to the next one, and we you know what I'm about to do. And you know what I'm about to do? You know what LDA is going to do? You know what I'm about to do? I didn't put the thing up there. Discover, let me put this up here. Discover a new story using the information you found in the first 2 steps to create a new story for yourself, one that reflects the values and beliefs that you want to live by. Let me say that again. Discover a new story. Use the information you found in the first 2 steps to create a new story for yourself, one that reflects the values and beliefs that you want to live by. Well, LDA, what's going on, Chad? Man, you be making them, boy. Discover what is your new story. When I was a kid, what we used to do when the older kids had cars and like, yo, man, that's my car, man. We told a story, man. I was driving that car down the street the other day and I was doing this. I changed my story about what I seen about myself. Before I even got my license, I seen myself driving. Yeah, I'm about to, wait a minute. Change. I discover a new story about myself. Let me say this, and you know what I'm about to go. I'm about to go to the other. I put the link in here. You know where I'm going. And I'm going to share this. Some of you have taken on the story of other people. Your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your cousin, your family, your workplace. You have taken on their story and they are stopping you in the game. Let me say that again. You have taken on the story of your environment. If you want to know where I'm from, East 118th and St. Clair, down the street, well, sort of what down the street from East 99th. And y'all know East like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm about to go over there. I'm going over there. You better get over there. I'm put the link there. Jerry, thank you, chat. I'm about to go. East 99th. Chan already over there. I appreciate that, brother. I want you to I put the link in there. We're about to go live in the Thinking Class community. If you want to hear the rest of this story, if you want to know how to transform your story so you can transform your game, you need to change your story. Join us right now as we go right into the Thinking Class. The link is on the screen. I know, you better get the rest of what I got to say. I got 2 more points you need to do because I want you to be transformed. I don't want you just to have a game. I want you to be the game. Join us now in the Thinking Cat. Get in there, game changer. We about to go. I'm giving you the countdown is going. I'm about to put Mr. Davis up. Mr. Davis is up. What you say, Mr. Davis?
The Thinking Class. We bring together forward-thinking, spiritually conscious individuals to learn, share, grow, and reframe our mindsets. We push to reach our maximum potential on all levels so that we can unlock new spiritual and practical paths to strengthen the relationships that matter most and usher in a new era of intellectual and behavioral mastery. Thank you for joining the Thinking Class. LDA's personal AI. Mr. Davis here to serve you. Keep it spiritual, keep it player.
We out of here. Y'all better go over there. I put the link in the bio. Already put the link. Bye. See, we going over there. I'll finish it up over there. 1, 2, 3.